I'm assuming the music will stop. We're just gonna turn off ourselves. Alright. Let's get on into this game, ladies and gentlemen. This is the grid. We're watching Oxygen Esports. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Hopefully the stream looks okay. You know, full transparency, this was relatively late notice, so apologies if this is not, you know, complete RLCS caliber stream production today. But we're gonna have fun. We're gonna watch some Rocket League today. And RLCS North America is pretty exciting. We got lots of superstar teams. We got lots of underdogs. We got lots of up-and-comers. And the grid is a pretty awesome format. It's best of fives across the entire... you play everyone once in a best of five. It's a complete round robin across every team. So it's a ton of games, ton of matches. But I think you need to get top six. Top six is what's important. So, that's what we're looking here. That's what we're looking for here. This is the first game, first day, really important day for all these teams. So I'm excited for this to get underway. Game one, best of five. I see you guys in the chat. Hanging out. Toasty LJ Krasix, representing OXG, going up against Space Station Gaming, Typical, Arsenal, and Reddles. Space Station is a ferocious team. I need to figure out setting up polls and all that, but I want to set up a poll like on predictions. I want to do all that stuff. Let me know in the chat. Give me some. Pretend you have an RLCS analyst tag in the game, and someone asks you to give some analysis. And if you don't mind in the chat, let me know. Give me some constructive analysis about these teams. Who you think's gonna win? I want to know your opinion. I would, and then I'll give my opinion. Or should I give my opinion now? I'll give you a few seconds to type out what you think. But Space Station, I think, is a very strong team. I don't think anyone can argue that. So I'd almost think Oxygen might be the underdogs here. Maybe the entirety of today. Don't tell them I said that, but I think they know that. They've got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of superstar teams out there, but we're here. We're having fun. And so far, super close game. Halfway through game one, we're seeing a lot of offense from Space Station. Applying a lot of pressure. Typical, passing it down to Reddles. A lot of chances here from Space Station. Quite a few shots on goal. And we're looking for Auction to find a breakout. See if they can get out of this bind on defense here. The good news is they haven't allowed any goals, and that's a great shot. Upper 90. Look at the placement. The placement on this shot. Typical was almost there. And just like that, Oxygen takes the early lead up 1-0. And that was after a moment where they were on defense for a pretty long time. So they stayed patient, looked for an opportunity, and then a great play down the field. So now the trick here is, can you hold on to that lead? All you need to win is just by one goal. We know Space Station, they're going to be applying a lot of pressure here, right in front of the goal. Toasty going up. We'll call that a fake, LJ. Gonna retreat and try to chase this down the field. Gets a nice pinch. That's always nice. You get a nice pinch going across the entire length of the field. And mounting to a clear. Reddles going for a double touch. Very nicely executed. You can see it lofted. He lofted into the air to himself. Was a pass from teammate. And now we're tied 1-1. Flashy plays across the board. I know we have some rival streamers covering this game. I think I see Widow as one of the commentators here. So if you guys don't mind, please go to their stream and tell them that we're better. Just kidding. Honestly, go show support to all the streams that are happening here in the grid. It's a lot of fun, a lot of diversity, and thanks for hanging out here when you do. No worries if you want to go watch something else for a little bit. Come on back later. I think that's kind of how the grid is. And I'm here for it. Tied 1-1, 60 seconds left. Oxygen on defense. It's LJ. kind of a double touch, but Space Station, pretty good position. Keeping the ball on the blue side for now. Reddles with control. LJ having to come back to try to retrieve that. Krazik's going up. Passing it to the middle. Toasty, a little bit late. Sipical bouncing it to the blue side. 30 seconds left. Still a lot of pressure here from Space Station. The ball dangerously going right in front of the goal there on the OXG side. No boost here for Krazik's. Toasty might not have a lot of boost either. No, they don't have boost. Team Oxygen, they're looking for oxygen. They need boost. Someone help them out. Can Space Station take advantage of this? Arsenal with the demo onto Toasty. He's like, okay, here's some boost. Take a demo. 0 second time. We're approaching it. There's a pass to Sipical. Nice defense from Toasty. The ball's still up in the air. Krazik's trying to knock it down. You know, Space Station they've been having a lot of, it's been their game. They've been having a lot of pressure, keeping the ball on the Space Station side, or excuse me, on the OXG side. So OXG needs to find a way out. Oh, and that might be it. The demo, they get it. Ooh, I haven't shouted into this microphone recently, so apologies. You guys are going to have to let me know if I'm too loud. Axel Toss, it's too loud. You're peaking. Wow, speaking of peaking. OXG, that's what you need to do. Space Station was playing a good game. Oxygen stayed patient. Look at the saves. And look at the shots from Space Station. Just firepower on the Space Station side. But Oxygen hanging on. They were all out of boost at the end of regulation. You guys know that? Let me ready up. I'm the only one that's not readied up. Uh-oh. Looks like there was a little glitch. Let's see if we can get back in there. What's up, folks? Thanks for the follows. I see those coming in. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. I got kicked out of the party. Alright, I'm back. We're back. Okay, here we go. Let's change it back over. Alright, game 2. Forgive me, guys. I gotta take a microsecond to adjust the scoreboard. I gotta do that really quick. Alright. Here we go, game 2. What a game. Game 1 was pretty cool. And look at that. Space Station out of the gate. Securing a goal. And that's something they could not find in the last game. They were able to apply a lot of pressure, but they just could not find the goal. And it was the defense from Oxygen that was really locking things down. Oxygen only needed a moment to find some offense. Oh, but the revenge, we're feeling it. Space Station will have their revenge. 2 goals in 20 seconds. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. And as I was kind of saying, I mean, Space Station, they were playing a pretty good game last game. They were applying a lot of pressure, putting a lot of shots on target, but they couldn't find the goals. So you kind of think of it, it's a lot of pressure finally being released there. And 2 goals out of the gate. A ton of potential energy from last game turning into those goals. But there's a nice answer from LJ. Felipe in the chat saying they're so fast. They are so fast, aren't they? Have you ever had a chance to play on a field with these fine Rocket League players, men and women? Let me tell you, when you jump on the field and play with these guys, it is so much fun, and you really see how fast they are. All right. Oh, shot on target, Krazik's on defense once again. Pulling off some saves. I love it. We got the polls going. Thank you. I think I have a mighty swordsman in the chat. They are legends here. Those with the swords in the chat. They're legends. Thanks for the help with making a poll. You guys will see who's going to win these games. Participate in those polls. It's pretty fun. I mean, the commentator thing to say is that it could go either way. And, I mean that. I think from game one, you might expect Spacestation to win this because they're a little upset. And they were actually playing well in game one. They were probably playing better a little overall than Oxygen in game one. So that might lead you to believe that Spacestation is going to win this one. So we'll see. That's easy to say too because they got 2 goals in the first 30 seconds. Reddles, some acrobatics. Little flip reset, hitting it off the roof and trying to turn that into something, but it ended up being nothing. LJ going the other way. Krazix there to receive that. Also, what would be really cool, I know we have some Oxygen people watching, potentially, from the wonderful Oxygen Esports organization. If you guys want to drop some trivia in the chat about this team, that could be fun. For everyone. This team, a little newer onto the scene, a very young team. So I think there might be people who don't know too much about them. But they're going to... they've had some good results so far. I challenge you guys to come up with some trivia for these guys. And I could get some trivia too about myself. 2 minutes left. That was a great shot on goal by Arsenal, but LJ with the crazy save, leaping in front of that one. Sipical from above. Somehow making that work. LJ with the save almost, but Sipical. We'll call that a change-up. It's typical with the change-up. Kind of a slow rolling in the air sequence back to the ground, able to follow that one up. And it's a tough position, down by 2 so early in this game. Oxygen trying to respond quickly. A nice shot on target. There's the follow-up from Krazix, but the defense is there from Spacestation. Now they're going the other way. Sipical trying to pass to Reddles. Trying to get that on target. It passes to the middle. Arsenal. He's there, gonna follow it above. LJ, though, that's a feel-good clear right there. Getting a great piece of that, sending it over to the Space Station side of the field. I see those follows coming in, though, by the way. Thank you, appreciate that. And I think there should be some sort of a fun graphic that comes up. I'm not too good of a streamer, but I think I do have that one. Oxygen with some work to do. LJ trying to hit it to himself. But Reddles is there. $50 seconds left for Oxygen to find 2 goals. They are currently up 1-0 in this best of 5. Space Station on the verge of tying this series up. If they can hold on to this lead, and it looks like they might do that. Adding another goal. Now 4-1. I'm gonna skip it. So Space Station kind of finding the goals that they couldn't find in game 1. I think they're playing just as well, maybe a little better than game 1, but they're able to execute these goals. And now they've found some nice momentum here. They're gonna try to hold on to this momentum. And they'd love to get another goal, maybe 2 more. Turn that into something into the next game, but Oxygen trying to put a stopper onto that. It's important here to, try to find some good plays, maybe in the end of regulation here. Maybe try to find some good passes, try to get some good momentum, and then get ready for game 3, baby. Okay, Space Station. They're going to equalize this series. And I think I'm just going to stay on this scene. We don't need to come back to my camera in between games. We can come back to my camera in between matches. I think that makes more sense. I hope everyone's okay with that. And now we have rule number 0, or rule number 1 here, keeping the ball in the air. I love it. Adding more minutes to the broadcast. I'll take that. All right. And now we have a tie series. How exciting. And I'm going to ready up. And you guys are going to see some behind the scenes here. Because I'm just going to keep the screen up for fun. See the highlights in the background. In fact, I could even hide the scoreboard if y'all are done with the stats. I know we might have some numbers guys out there. Look. Look at the highlights. Okay. Onward we go. I see you guys in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Felipe, Sprite, Michaeler, Bad Coop, Lasali, Dragon, Apollo, Greeny. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope everyone's healthy. And here to have some fun. Here to watch some Rocket League unfold. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to Oxygen Esports for letting me cover their team. Pretty fun, pretty exciting times here. And of course, thanks to Psyonix making this happen. We gotta, I mean, you know, as an esports guy, which I consider myself, as we see a very early goal from Toasty. Can I get a let's go in the chat? Felipe, before I say it, throwing out the let's go. That's actually really important, especially considering the early goals we saw from Space Station in the last game. It is huge. It is huge for Oxygen to pick up an early goal here. But yeah, as I was saying, the format for the grid is pretty cool. I think a lot of esports can learn from it. Kind of the idea being, look, we need a gauntlet. We need a lot of matches. We need a lot of games. We want a lot of Rocket League. We want the players playing. That's what the grid is, man. It's a gauntlet. It's a ton of matches. And it really allows... the only way it would be better if it was double round robin or something, right? But some people might say, oh, that's too much. But anyway, the point is, a lot of games really helps let the better teams rise to the top. The goal here is top 6 for all these teams. There's 16 teams in the grid. It's complete round robin. And the top 6 is kind of what you want. Top 2 is basically winning. So we'll see what happens. It's a huge day for Oxygen. I'd love to see some predictions on what you think is going to happen today. I believe Oxygen is playing against Space Station here, and then G2 and NRG. Am I right on that? Someone have to double check me, but a huge day for Oxygen. Honestly, I think that if they can win 2, it would be insane. It would be incredible. If they can win 2 of the matches today, it would be really, really, really good for Oxygen. If they win 1 today, I think it's decent, because there's a lot of good teams here that they're playing. What a shot from LJ. Axeltoss, stop talking so much. Just commentate the game. That was an awesome shot there. Nice pass play. That's what you like to see. Oxygen playing quickly there and executing. Taking the lead 2-0. 3 minutes left. It's a great start here in Game 3. Again, best of 5. So it's the first of 3 wins. We're already guaranteed 4 games, which is very exciting for us. We like seeing Rocket League. Krazix! That was great. Finding the open lane down the fields. I know you guys playing Rocket League at home on the ladder. If you try to do that, very rarely does it work out. What you need is a teammate that sees you doing that. Because if you're down the field a little bit and your teammate doesn't see you and they don't pass it to you, then you're not helping anyone, and then they're gonna say, why aren't you rotating? And then your teammate's gonna be mad at you. So that worked out really well there for Krazix. He was able to stay up the field, and more importantly, his teammate saw him turn around and was able to make that pass happen. As we see a quick answer here from Space Station. Arsenal. A very nice pass from Reddles. The double touch pass to the middle, softly putting it right in front of the net. Bringing it back a little bit halfway through Game 3. Dragon RL says this is probably the chillest grid stream. You know what, Dragon? You are the chillest. This might be the chillest grid chat. How about that? You guys are the chillest. LJ trying to get another touch on that. We'll call it a fake. Oxygen has to be feeling pretty nice right now. At least decent. Well, as I say that, a goal from Reddles. And I say that because just being up in this game is pretty nice. You want to hold on to it, obviously. But this is a tie series 1-1. So a really important game here. Whoever wins this game will go up 2-1 in the series and will be 1 win away from taking it. Pretty important stuff. Every single match is so important in the grid. And we like it that way. Alright, can Oxygen hold on to this 3-2 advantage? 100 seconds left in the game here. LJ over to Krazix, bouncing it down. LJ with the back pass to Krazix. It almost worked out, but Sipical caught wind of it, keeping on the offense. And this is a little bit of pressure here from Spacestation. Toasty trying to navigate through the defense, and he's successful. A demo on Arsenal as well. Going to try to pass it to the middle. Oh, Kravix was on it, and he got a piece of it, but there was a defender in the goal. But nice pressure here from Oxygen Esports. Krazix going to try to pass it down to Toasty, but interrupted by Arsenal. Pretty nice clear. LJ, he's going to field that, hit it back the other way. And now Spacestation playing a little defense. Krazix, a nice shot. Very creative. And look at this, keeping it right in front of the net there. Toasty trying to follow that up with the goal. And Oxygen keeping it on the side of Spacestation right now. Okay, someone has to retrieve that one. There was a moment where they were going to leave it. It's like, nope, that's going in the goal if no one's touching it. Thankfully, they were able to figure it out. I'm sure they're in comms right now, actively helping each other out. Time's running out for Spacestation here in Game 3. 20 seconds. They need to find a goal to send this in overtime, or 2 goals to take the win. And that's a shot on goal. The pinch save. Riddle following it up, and they get it. Some people are pretty sad about that, a little upset about that. But you know what? That just made this so much more exciting, didn't it? Now we have a very dramatic final 10 seconds. These teams are tied. Will we see a goal to take it in regulation? Again, such an important game here. If you win, you're up 2-1 in a best of 5. Right now, Oxygen with the offense. And Reddle's trying to knock it down, it seems. But another half-second will tick off the field. And Sipical almost with an opportunity there. That was very scary. I think everyone thought it was ending when Reddles hit it down, but it's like a half-second left. And that was close. All right, here we go. Oxygen keeping it on the orange side in the early stages of overtime. Remember, they scored very quickly in the last overtime we saw in Game 1. They scored moments in overtime. Almost able to pull it off there, too. Now Reddles taking it back the other way, trying to pass it to the middle. LJ with a great stop on Sipical. That's towards the orange side, off the backboard. Krazix trying to pass it to Toasty. Sipical interrupts it towards the blue side. That is no good. Sipical buries it in. And that is a bit of a heartbreaker for Oxygen Esports. Any Oxygen fans? I'm sure there's some Oxygen fans here watching this stream. Oh, man. They had a chance in the early part of overtime, and they all felt it. In fact, they might have overcommitted a little bit. Kudos to Spacestation turning that around and able to get that goal in overtime. But Oxygen in that game, they were up 2 to... No, I believe they were up 3-1. So Spacestation having to get quite a few goals in a row with not a lot of time to be able to pull that off. So here we go. Next game. It's tough. It happens. This is Rocket League, as they say. All right. Here we go. Game number 4, Space Station up 2-1. They're 1 win away from securing victory here in the first match of the grid for both these two teams. Everyone's at 0-0. I don't know if matches are done on other streams, but you want to get off to a great start in the grid. This series was tied 1-1, and then Oxygen getting themselves a nice lead in the game 4, or excuse me, game 3, but Space Station brought it back, and now they are up 2-1 in this best of 5. Sipical with the goal to start things off here, 36 seconds in. Man, yeah, it is tough for Oxygen. They were in a great spot last game. They were in a great spot. And unfortunately, Space Station was able to close the gap and take the win. So Oxygen, they have to they gotta tell themselves that they've been playing well. They were in a really good position last game. And hopefully turn that into some nice momentum coming into game number 4. A must-win situation here for OXG if they are going to take out Space Station in this best of 5. Space Station up 1-0 here in the first 90 seconds of game 4, and honestly, they're putting on some more offense. Reddles, it's like these strange goals. It is hitting it off the ceiling and then doing a slow roller. Toasty and LJ double committing a little bit on defense there. Let's see if they can bring this under control here. Now you really got to show some offense. Space Station off to a great start here in game number 4. We've seen these leads evaporate, though, for both teams. This is Rocket League, as they say. Oxygen, they are on the ropes right now. They must win this game. Hey, thanks for the host, EURCRL. Or thanks for the raid. That's awesome, dude. As we see another goal from Space Station. This time it's Sipical. The firepower from Space Station right now is just on full display. Everyone getting involved on offense, and Oxygen trying to come up for breath here. See if they can bring this back. We're not even to halftime yet. We've seen some flashy plays, though, from Oxygen. Reddles with another goal. Oh man, this is tough. Oxygen last game, they were in a really good position and they gave up some goals and lost it in overtime, and now we're basically seeing Space Station just pour on these goals, pour on the momentum. They found their groove and they're looking really good here in this series. Team Oxygen, Oxygen Esports, they need a miracle. They have to overcome 4 goals here in the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's possible. But kudos to Space Station. They faltered here and there in this series, but they were able to really come out strong here in the last game and obviously throughout this game. Can we see Oxygen Esports make a comeback? Toasty over to LJ. Towards the goal, but it ended up being saved. And that's a demo in front of the net. Reddles trying to push it in. LJ was there. Toasty now on defense. Space Station still with a lot of offense. 90 seconds for Oxygen to find 4 goals, but I mean, it might be out of reach at this point. We've seen some goals happen quickly early on in these games. But you definitely know Auction Esports, they did not want to be in this position here. They wanted to keep this a little bit closer. And obviously, they were very close to winning the last game. So a pretty tough turn of events here for Auction Esports. Trying to see if they can get some goals here in the final seconds. Shot towards the net. That was Krazik's. Ended up being saved. Now LJ with a double touch, but no. Reddle's there with the save. We're seeing some nice offense here from Auction, but just not able to find the goal. Spacestation showing up on offense, and then coming up with some nice saves as well. Yeah, Felipe, he says Oxygen looks so good, and they do look good. You know, Spacestation, obviously, a really good team here, but there's a lot of positives that Oxygen can definitely take from this series. Because you're right, they had some really nice plays. They had momentum. They had the lead last game. So a lot of good things happening for Oxygen here, but Space Station just coming up with the goals when it absolutely matters. And that's going to do it here for match number 1. Waning moments. Be a 3-1 series victory for Space Station Gaming. They're going to go 1-0 on the grid lead in the standings. They're going to be 1-0. Auction will start out 0-1, but that's okay. We saw a lot of good things from Auction there, I think. And it looks like the chat agrees with me on that. All right. Let's bring it back to me. Yo!